hands are covered in cake batter. I'm licking the spoon, savoring every last drop. The oven glows warm against my mother's face. And for this one moment every year, baking Christmas wine cakes, I feel her fully present. The rest of the year, she's like a storm. Working, producing, achieving. Never stopping, never breathing. Never fully here. And yet, she is the most successful woman I know. Sharp, driven, outspoken. She could command the attention in any room without even raising her voice. And like so many daughters do, I became her. By my mid-20s, I was running a top-producing mortgage team. I burned hard and I moved fast, ignoring every whisper from my body that told me to slow down. And then, in 2002, everything changed. At 57, my mother was diagnosed with dementia. The one person whose approval I sought the most no longer had the capacity to care. Over the next decade, I watched this brilliant woman, this force of nature, slowly lose the qualities the world celebrated in her the most. Her clarity, her confidence, her ability to succeed. In 2011, she died at just 66 years old. Her decline cracked something open in me. And in that moment, I realized women will give everything of themselves to succeed, even the parts of themselves they can't afford to lose. Her story became my warning, and later on, my awakening. 2 years after her diagnosis, I was collapsing under the weight of my own life, my job, my family, my identity. I was drowning in a way that felt familiar, almost inherited. One night, I sank into the bathtub with my 1-year-old daughter, and for the first time in my adult life, I stopped. I was present, fully, quietly, tenderly present. No guilt, no performing, no racing thoughts. Just water, just breath, just us. And in that stillness, I heard a voice that was warm but stern say, "Kelly, if you don't change the way you're living, you will lose yourself too." That moment didn't just change my life, it changed my leadership. For it revealed a truth that for most of us as women, we don't acknowledge or recognize, or even if we do, we don't say out loud. The greatest barriers holding women back aren't external, they're internal. Let me say that again another way. The greatest barriers holding us as women back are inside of us. Yes, systems matter, but our patterns matter more. External barriers shape us. Internal barriers stop us. And only one of those is in our power to change today. This isn't about blaming men. It's not about pretending that discrimination doesn't exist. It is about reclaiming the one form of agency no one can ever take away from us. Our patterns, our presence, our permission, and our worth. This is our birthright. Women are not the problem, but we are the portal. And this portal gets blocked in 4 quiet ways: overthinking, chronic stress, imposter syndrome, and guilt. I call these abundance blocks, internal patterns that drain female leadership before it even emerges. Overthinking delays our decisions. Stress keeps us in survival mode. Imposter syndrome traps us waiting on permission we already have. And the most important one, guilt. Guilt steals our presence, the one quality leadership demands the most. This matters because right now, the world is transforming at record speeds, and yet one thing remains unchanged: Women are still the most under-leveraged leadership force on the planet. Only 10% of Fortune 500 companies are led by women. Only 2.5% of venture capital goes to female founders. Not because women lack competency, not because women aren't ambitious, but because women are exhausted. Women don't rise when we do more. Women rise when we become more. More present, more aligned, more attuned to what really matters. So back to my mother, who pushed and performed to provide until she had nothing left to give. She sacrificed mothering for money, presence for productivity, and her story taught me this. When women run on empty, the world doesn't just lose their brilliance, it loses their leadership. We don't need another Me Too era, although it was essential. What we need now is an Us Too era. Not women against men, not competition, but collaboration. A world where women aren't shrinking in the corner or apologizing for taking up space. One where we're seated fully at the table in our wisdom, our intuition, and in our power. Here's what I've learned from working with thousands of women. When a woman releases just one block, her leadership transforms immediately. Change doesn't begin with a movement, it begins with a moment. One woman asking herself, what is one pattern holding me back? What is one block that I can shift today? Not all 4 blocks, just one. Because when a woman releases just one block, it creates momentum. Momentum becomes confidence, confidence becomes leadership, and leadership becomes impact. So choose your one block so we can restore our presence and our power. If it's overthinking, make one decision faster today, or apply for that promotion you're wondering if you're qualified for. If it's stress, just pause and breathe for 60 seconds, or be more vulnerable and ask for help. If it's imposter syndrome, take one action without waiting for permission. And if it's guilt, trade self-sacrifice for self-alignment. Presence isn't soft. Presence isn't a luxury. Presence is a leadership strategy. And when women reclaim it, we become unstoppable. I imagine a world where women don't wait for a crisis to wake up to their worth like I did. We simply choose to embody it. A world where women lead with strength and empathy, with intuition and innovation. A world where our daughters aren't asking, where are all the female leaders? Because they're everywhere, right where they belong. Thank you.